All right. We are here and we are live, baby. And you are here with Palm Tree Sports. This is the first episode, you guys. My name is Corey Pajoles, your hostess with the mostest tonight, and I am here with IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And I just want to say welcome, guys. This is my first time. I am really excited for this, so thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for listening to me speak my mind, but I am also going to bring some facts to you today, and we are going to be discussing here on Palm Tree Sports um, the South, specifically the teams here in Florida. So, for any of those who do not know, again, my name is Corey Pajoles. I am a die-hard Buccaneer, born and raised Tampa Bay, 28 years. Um, I was here for the first Super Bowl back in 2002. I worked the Super Bowl event that we just had under Brady and the Bruce Arians regime, and we will be covering some of that information as far as Brady is concerned and other things as well in this podcast. Also, we will be covering some Jags info, Gators, Knowles, Rays, and Lightning. The Rays and the Lightning will be further on the back end, and it will not be as diverse as the NFL and college teams because of obviously we are outside the realm of hockey at the moment, and we will see what is going on with the Rays. Obviously, that's our team, but we got to see them produce in the postseason, right, guys? All right. So from the top, we're gonna go ahead and start with the Buccaneers, right? So this is obviously the biggest thing going on right now is Brady. Brady's been excused from practice for the last couple of days. We don't know the reason specifically. It's his business, of course. He's a grown man. He's given everything he has to this game. He's earned some time off. Some speculation is that there are some issues, with the family. Again, these are rumors, so there's nothing quite concrete until Tom comes out and says it himself. Everything else is just, hey, I think this or I think that. Now, with the known issues between, I don't want to say known issues, but with the delicate issues between family and football, right? Obviously, Tom loves his family, but he loves the game, and he said he wanted to play till 45. So I believe that there is a conundrum, perhaps, where his duties as a father, as a husband, may be conflicting with his duties as a football player. So that is my belief on what is going on. Again, this is not our business, so I just wish the best for Brady and Giselle. Regardless of what he decides to do with this season, he's again giving it all to this, not just to this team, but to the game of football. And if he needs a minute, he needs a minute. I think we can all, give him that. With that being said, I do believe that this does pose a bit of an issue for our team. And the reason why I can say this is because one thing that you hear everybody say when they talk about Tom is he works hard. He's the hardest worker in the room. He's the biggest motivator in the room. He doesn't just want to succeed. He wants to see the next person succeed and the next person after that person. When that mindset isn't there, I don't believe that the team breaks, but I believe that being later in his career that he may have a little bit more rust because training camp is where you get that rust off, right? That's where you get all of the dust, all of the dirt, the soot, whatever it may be, and you get it off and you get mechanically inclined back to the game of football. Tom is the GOAT. So I don't see this to be a huge issue, but it is a concern for me because he doesn't usually miss training camp. So that's obviously the biggest thing to start off with. There are a number of things I could continue on with, but the next thing I want to talk about is Devin Tompkins because this guy has been showing up here in training camp. For anybody who's been watching the plays, he has been taking reps with Kyle Trask and Blaine Gabbert. He has made plenty of amazing plays and catches, in the last 2 weeks. He's done a phenomenal job stretching the defense, running routes, and I also hear that he is not afraid. For a young guy, for an undrafted young guy, he is not afraid to go wherever the ball needs him to go to produce. And that is something that is dangerous for other teams that are not expecting to see that. I think a lot of teams are concerned about the Julio Jones and the Russell Gage signing and aren't paying attention to what the Bucs did in the draft. My first time here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, I mentioned that these guys would get a lot more attention and that there would be a lot of people who flew under the radar, especially undrafted free agents. and that's where you really make your money as an owner, as a team player, as a head coach. That's where you do the most. Now, with that being said, I suspect that Devin Tompkins will be a very, very helpful and useful threat on the interior. Russell Gage has been dealing with a hammy, as everybody knows, so that's one thing that we will have to wait and see how that develops. Mike has had hammy issues since he came into the league. Now, I watch college football as well as NFL football. In college, he was pretty healthy. He's a long guy, so he was able to stretch the field a lot, found a lot of one-on-ones, and also when you have, Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel, that is, guys, throwing you the football, that guy's dancing in the pocket, he's going to be able to create time and space for you. So, Mike coming into the league, he was used to being able to stretch the field on one-on-ones. Now he's getting double covered, and if you're not double covering him, good luck. Not smart. Just not smart at all. And considering that, Mike is going to be fine. Yeah, he's going to be fine. It's just taking consideration that obviously he's aging, so these things are going to happen a little bit more. But he's been dealing with that hammy since he came out of college. So, and it hasn't stopped him from producing a 1,000-yard season yet. So I don't see why it would stop him now. Now, as far as the center injury with Ryan Jensen was actually seen a couple of days after his injury at practice on the cart. Yes, he is braced up. We're not sure exactly what the timetable is on that. We're waiting for further details would be a better thing for me to say. With that in mind, Ainsley has stepped up, and he has been doing pretty good. He's not Ryan Jensen, but how could we expect him to be? With that being said, let's give the man some time. Let's see how it goes, especially with these next two preseason games. I believe he's starting this preseason game. I believe also that Blaine Gabbert will be taking some snaps today as well, so this is not going to be an all Kyle Trask show. Kyle Trask does need the reps, but as far as the injury is concerned for the guys snapping the ball, so the quarterback, we're going to have to wait for some further details. Now, Tristan Wirfs, in good news, just to bring up a little fun, was pancaking defenders, all right, at Titans training camp during the joint practice. Also, there were, of course, all season guys have been away from the game. They come back, that competitive fire burns. So there have been some touch-ups at the practices. This happened in Miami, of course, as well last week, and it happened again this week. But nothing, that the teams couldn't get under control. These are men; they know what they're doing. But again, competitiveness is competitiveness. So let's see what happens here tonight as this preseason game unfolds. As for last week, for all those who watched the game, I watched it as well. It's preseason. That's all I can really say. This is what you expect, I suppose. I really hoped he made the kick. He didn't. That's okay. It won't be okay in the regular season. So that's just something to consider. You're getting paid to do a job, so you gotta make that kick, right? Kyle Trask went to University of Florida, so I watched him in college. There is a lot of negative talk about Kyle in his second year. Now, let's just remember, guys, he is the backup to Tom Brady, okay? Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's a field general. He is absolutely unmatched in his brain power and wit, decision making, and philosophy, especially when the chips are down and, the going gets tough. Kyle can't learn all of that in 1 year, in 2 years. I remind everybody that Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 4 years, okay? Everybody thinks Aaron Rodgers is this amazing talent, but he also had to wait his turn. He also had to study, take notes, learn, and that's what we need to get Kyle the opportunity to do. Now, after year 2, if he comes out, beats Blaine for the starting position next year, that's when we'll have to say, all right, Kyle, it's time for you to be all you can be, okay? And at that point, that decision will, have to be made by the head coach, of course, Mr. Todd Bowles, and I'm sure he'll make the best decision for us, but let's give Kyle a little bit more time, okay, guys? We can't ask everybody to be Russell Wilson right out of the bag, okay? Now, last week he showed some serious poise and some serious leadership down the stretch, making the right plays, making the right reads. Of course, there were a couple of bad plays that happened, but that's okay. The interception was very fluky, of course. You don't expect for the ball to get lodged between somebody's legs and not actually touch the ground. But hey, this is the game of football and crazier things have happened. So I'm very interested to see how this game unfolds. It'll be starting over here in about 4 minutes Eastern time. And but we are at Tennessee, so the game is not home. I live by the stadium, so unfortunately we'll be not hearing the cannons fire. But we will get to see what takes place tonight in this second preseason game. Tips for the game on players to look out for. Biggest players would be Devin Tompkins, Rachaad White. Okay, these two guys have been lighting it up. Rachaad White, from the moment we drafted him, I believed was going to be the second back behind playoff Leonard Fournette, of course. I also want to go ahead and address the Leonard Fournette rumors that he was coming in, overweight, heavy. Relax, guys. He was doing a bunch of off-season workouts, getting stronger. I saw him power cleaning, deadlifting, the whole 9 yards. So he was just really concerned about making sure that his weight was proper for the weight that he was going to be lifting, and who could blame him? I fully expect that he'll be back and ready to go when the season starts, and obviously can't wait to see what Rachaad White does. Behind him, I think that he is definitely going to add some depth and definitely add a good set of eyes, somebody to get a defender's attention or to help block Brady in the pocket as well, because he is a very well built running back. On defense, we have, now I made this mistake with Zion McCollum before. First off, I called him Ryan. His name is Zion, but he is a twin, and so that's my mistake. The second thing is that I listed his height incorrectly. He stands about 6'2" to be exact, and I think I said he was around the 6'4" mark. And the reasoning was simple, of course. When you see this guy on tape, he reminds you of Richard Sherman. We would love to have another Richard Sherman. When I want to disrespect him by saying another, but I would like to urge everybody that when you watch this tape, pay attention to it. He definitely will turn into a good defensive back, if not a great one. Now, that is the majority of things I want to cover for the Bucs. As we get closer into the season, I will go ahead and divert into regular season mode, which we will be discussing stats, we'll be discussing the roster, the schedule, and of course what this record is going to turn out to be, playoffs, division title hopefully, and everything else that comes after that, right? Because ultimately we're trying to get another Super Bowl. Now, with that being said, we're going to shift pendulums over to the Jags. Now, the Buccaneers and the Jags are two totally different areas of their franchise as far as the life is concerned. The Buccaneers are in a win now, loaded roster, maybe the best roster in the NFC. And the Jaguars just drafted a rookie quarterback. Great rookie quarterback, okay? In rebuild mode. New coach, again, new quarterback, new receivers. Spent a lot of money in the offseason, guys. Spent a lot of money in the offseason. So the most important thing for the Jags is that they produce, right? You're going to go out, you're going to spend $170 million, $175 million in free agency and bring a lot of guys in. The first thing you're going to have to do is win, all right? Now, you're not in the worst division, okay? You're not in the best division. You're in a division where you got to go get it, all right? Indianapolis is going to be there. You expect this. Matt Ryan is now their starting quarterback. Hey, Matt Ryan was Atlanta's starting quarterback before. So there's something to draw on, right, for the Jaguars. If you're the Jaguars, you're looking at Tampa Bay, you're saying, what did they do to Atlanta to make Matt Ryan uncomfortable? How did they handle Matt Ryan? You're looking at any other team in the NFC South or any other team in the NFC that played them last year. Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. You get pressure on him, he's just like anybody else, okay? He is not Aaron Rodgers. So, Jags, you guys want to make a statement, the first step is Indianapolis, because we've already seen, you know, what you guys can do when everything is gelled. Okay, can win, but it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot of work. Now you got somebody at the helm that can get it done. Trevor Lawrence is young. Okay, he. It's not fair to compare him to the likes of a Justin Herbert or somebody else in his likeness that came out also within a year or two of his draft class. He does not have the weapons that Justin Herbert had. Doesn't have the weapons that Josh Allen had. Okay, some of these young quarterbacks, you know, are walking into a great situation and producing off of it. Trevor Lawrence did not. So let's give him the chance to do that. Hopefully, this marriage between head coach and quarterback will work, and they can actually create offense. You know, because that was a big issue for them last year, not being able to get down the field, get in the red zone, and finish. That's the first thing that we're going to want to start here, right? So, also, I seem to notice here that the Jags have this stig about getting rid of, top players at inopportune times. I mean, it happened with Leonard, and I can't help but think that's going to happen again. So the second thing they need to do is retain talent. Okay? When you're in a rebuilding stage, you got to have pillars. Okay? You got to have this unwavering temple, if you will. Okay? And this temple, it has to be unified. There has to be a clear leader. There has to be clear members. Everybody has to know their position. Everybody has to know their job. When the Jazz can find a way to assign positions based off of their talent, not overextend, right? And again, you got somebody at the helm, Trevor Lawrence, who can get it done. The next step is going to be get some weapons, okay? Get them some weapons. So y'all spend some money in the offseason. Let's see if that can produce. Because if it cannot, you're going to run into the same wall that you ran into last year. Only it's going to be worse because obviously everybody's going to be sitting back saying, hey guys, you spent $175 million in offseason. What's going on here? All right. Now, also with the Jaguars, there is a schedule that is forgiving, not forgiving at the same time. I can't give you a number for how many wins you guys will have this season. I can speculate all I want, but it's really going to come down to head coach and quarterback play, okay? And again, you're going to have to get past the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know if you guys are going to do that this year. I really want to say yes. I mean, here we are right here looking at the schedule. Now, you got a tough one at the Steelers. The Steelers are always going to play you tough, okay? There's no way around that. Jags at the Falcons, you guys got that. Y'all can win that one. Jags Commanders, you guys got that one. Y'all can win that one, okay? Jags Colts, question mark, right? So that's going to be the first test, right? Week 4. And the question is, what's going to happen, all right? And this isn't week 4, my apologies, but the 4th game on the schedule for you guys. That's gonna be the big one, and you got the Chargers and the Eagles after that. All right, Chargers, that's gonna be a tough one. Eagles, play hard, you can win. Texans, play hard, you can win. Colts, we'll see, run it back, see what happens again. Giants, play hard, you can win. Broncos, this is gonna be an interesting one, okay, guys. Broncos are a good team because they have Russell Wilson. That is all I can say right now. I cannot tell you that Russell Wilson will lead them into the promised land because the AFC is the Wild Wild West right now, okay? It is loaded. I mean, Chiefs, Chargers, all right, Bills, Patriots. Miami's flying under the radar, okay? Steelers could wreck everybody's year. Maybe Lamar Jackson wakes up and decides, hey, I could be the best quarterback in the league. I can take the Ravens to another Super Bowl. These are all things that can happen, okay? So it's important to note that game will really, really, really determine most likely how the season goes. Because, see, listen, you got some division games early on. I get it. You got the Colts twice. These other games, Eagles, Texans, Giants, y'all can win, okay? After the Broncos, check this out. After the Broncos, you go Raiders, Chiefs, Ravens. That is as tough a 3-game stretch as you're going to get, okay? Win that game in Denver, you guys might be able to ride some confidence into these and make some unexpected wins, okay? Now, then you go to the Lions. You guys should win that one, okay? You guys should win that one. Titans, question mark. Watch the game tonight. Let's see what happens, okay? The Titans will not be the same team that they were before. That much I believe, okay? We'll have to wait and see what happens. After that, you go Cowboys. That'll be a tough one. Depends on how Dak is playing, right? Dak is playing well, you guys are in for a long night. Dak's not playing well, hey, go get another win. All right, Jets, go get another win. Okay, we don't know what the Jets are going to be, who they're going to be. Okay, haven't known who they were going to be since Mark Sanchez. Okay, so Texans, you guys get that one. Titans to close out the season. Learn from the game 4 games before that one, right? So you play the Jaguars and you play the Colts within 5 weeks of each other both. Okay, Colts at the beginning of the season. Titans at the end of the season. Win the first one, build off of that, win the last one, maybe make the playoffs, huh? All right, let's see what happens here. Obviously, I'm not expecting a whole lot, but there's something here, and you gotta build. You gotta build. Okay, that's the first step in anything. And I wish you guys the best. I honestly do. It's been a minute, since the Jaguars have been in prominence. I'm sure you guys feel that way as well, but Fred Taylor, Mark Berline, I believe his name was. You had Keaton McCardell. All right, there's some history there. Yeah, it's about time the Jaguars start returning, to the playoffs. Start making some noise. Start, earning that respect again back from the rest of the league, all right? So that is all I have for the Jags today. I will be getting back into the lab to see what else is going on, but obviously, again, in a rebuilding season like we are in, it's just going to come down to head coach and quarterback. So with that being said, also, we're going to go ahead and get into our first break of the evening. When we come back, we'll be discussing Gators, Noles, obviously the new facility for the Gators, new coach, new expectations for the Noles. Let's see what happens, man. We're just going to have to determine through this schedule and the recruiting that they have done whether they'll be able to make it or not this season. But all that and more coming up next on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Again, I am your host, Corey Pujols, and this is Palm Tree Sports you're listening to. All right.
What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for the latest on Northern California sports? Then take a trip out west with me, your host, Gina G, on Reppin' the NorCal Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be bringing it to you all the way live every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a packed show. I'll bring you everything Dynastic 49ers, the bite of the San Jose Sharks, torture of the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors that we still believe. Then take you across the bay to the rise and grind of the Oakland A's. I've got you covered on college ball from the Cal Bears to the Stanford Cardinal, so that no matter what, reppin' in NorCal sports is always reppin' the Bay. So if you bleed red and gold, or you're looking to keep an eye out west in them thar hills, don't miss me, Gina G, on reppin' in NorCal sports. Catch me every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have your fandom repped harder than a trio of defenders guarding Stephen Curry before his buzzer beater is Gucci.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2livestewsradio.com and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the waitaminuteshow.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Indeed.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Alright, welcome back everyone. Again, my name is Corey Pujols, your host of Palm Tree Sports here in the South, and it is brought to you again by IES Sports Radio. My apologies, your direct feed for all that is sports. Now, I said before the break that we would go ahead and start covering some college action, right? So let's go ahead and dive into the blue and orange. Alright guys, so for those who do not know, I mentioned before at the beginning of the show, I'm a diehard Buccaneer and a Gator. That's correct. I bleed blue and orange with the best of them. Been to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. It is my emotional birthplace as a man. It is where I learned loss, victory, and that if we ever lose to Kentucky, that's a horrible thing, because the first time we lost to them, I think I was 20, right? So, I mean, could you imagine, just kind of growing up in this lifestyle where, like, hey, we don't ever lose to that team. We might lose to Florida State from time to time, but that's a good team. But, that Kentucky, that blue team, we don't lose to them. We're the better blue team. And needless to say, that was a turning point for us a few years back. Losing to Kentucky, having these nail biters against Kentucky's no better. Double, triple, was it quadruple overtime? I don't quite remember. And I'm saying that to say this. Okay? We have 14 days until Gator football is back. What does that mean? I mean, finally, it's back, for one. I don't know about you guys, but whenever football is gone, life is just 30% less fun. I think, it's like that when all major sports leave, but personally, in my heart, I cannot live without football season. Well, I can, but again, it's like eating tofu when I could have seasoned chicken, right off the grill. With that being said, 14 days until Gator football returns. I can't wait. Now, our first game, all right, is against Utah. Utah is ranked 7th. I don't know if this is a problem. I don't think it is a problem. I think we're going to have to wait and see. I think that the Gators will show up under Billy Napier, okay, who's our new head coach. And I really can't wait to see. Hard thing to do, like I said, down here in Florida. So I expect that will continue. Now, one of the things that other teams are going to be saying, let's not pivot and make it seem like they're not saying this, is that the Gators are under a new regime, all right? New head coach, a lot of players left, a lot of new players. What's the team going to look like? How's the leadership going to be? A lot of questions, okay? You would be smart to ask those questions, but you would be smart and diligent to be prepared for anything. Billy Napier has an incredible body of work. This man worked under Nick Saban, okay? That's the first thing I'm going to bring up. It's always going to be the first thing I bring up. As a Gator, we've seen Alabama in the SEC championship game many, many, many times. It's important to know the guy across the hall from you, okay? Across the field from you. Across the table from you. And when it's Nick Saban, you got a game plan like a champion, okay? So, him being underneath Nick Saban, I am hoping and praying that he knows more than just one or two things, weaknesses to be exact, and that game plan that Nick Saban develops, because let's just be honest, the guy's probably going to go down as the greatest college football coach to do it, head coach to do it of all time. I mean, the guy's an absolute terror. His record speaks for itself. Okay. Now, Billy Napier, all right, had the Raging Cajuns down in Louisiana doing very, very, very well. All right, and that is a team that cannot recruit like Florida can, or has not been able to. My apologies. Let's see, okay, what happens next with this Billy Napier direction that we are headed in. We did retain a few key starters now, okay? So there are going to be some returning faces that we've seen before. Some guys who know how to get it done on both sides of the ball, okay? Just to name a few, we have Naquan Wright returning, of course, running back. Came on very strong for us, was an amazing 3-down back for us last year in a season that could be kind of easy to forget about. But here we are, okay? Here we are. And also, Brenton Cox Jr., all right? If you've watched the Gators play, you know Brenton Cox might be the best player on our team, okay? Don't get me wrong. Anthony Richardson he's phenomenal. He's a talent. But Brenton Cox, from that defensive perspective, the body, the work, the way he collapses the pocket, the way he gets in quarterbacks' faces. Now, I'm very excited about him, and of course, as I just mentioned, the last name I wanted to mention, of course, was Anthony Richardson. This guy wears 15 for a reason. Can't wait to see him on the national stage. Can't wait to see what he does under Billy Napier. I just hope that his football IQ and maturity, not that he's immature, but specifically to the game of football, that he is dialed in. He is a guy of incredible physical talent, and I believe he will be extremely hard to stop. He just has to be zoned in. Okay, yeah, I feel like we've seen this before, okay? So hopefully he can bring the thunder this year. Hopefully he can be the guy under center that we need him to be, and the guy that he needs to be to push Florida to where Florida wants to be in this college football discussion. Lastly, for the Gators, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this part, but obviously there is a new $1 million facility, state-of-the-art facility to be exact. There's plenty of videos on the tour about it. You can find them all over the place. You can find it at Twitter at IE Sports Radio, and also it is on YouTube. It's all over the place. I would encourage you guys to go check it out. Go look at what they're designing for these players. Go look at what the players see when they're trying to make a choice, right? They get invited. They say, "Hey, why don't you come on campus? Let's show you what we're working with here." And this is part of not just the wellness and preparation for the players, right, for Saturdays to go out there and play their best football, but this is also to help with the staff, to help with the recruitment, to help make everything in life as a Gator better when it comes to sports, when it comes to our Florida Gators, whether that be, again, softball, track and field, football, basketball, whatever the case may be, this is for them. And I'm very excited to see it. Again, if you haven't seen the video, go check it out. It's amazing. I can't speak on it enough. It's absolutely beautiful, state-of-the-art facility that they've created up there in Gainesville. Can't wait to see the boys put it to good use. Can't wait for the season to start. Let's see what this season has in store for us. So go Gators. And just like any other mirror, we're going to go from one side of the street to the other, if you will. And we're going to go ahead and talk about the Noles now. All right. So, as a Gator, I pay attention to the Noles. I have to know what's going on with them. We're going to play each other in week 11 at rivalry week, okay? And it's always a tailgate, right? There's always trash talk and a good time, beers and barbecue down here. And it's going to be a show, but obviously we want to win. So let's see what we're working with here across the street at FSU. So one of the biggest things I want to talk about with FSU, and I'm always advocating for what a team needs to do, not what they want to do, right? We see this happen with teams all the time, whether it be the pros or college. Recruiting in a specific area, recruiting a specific kind of talent. Same thing in the pros. You have guys like Jerry Jones only wants guys that can win, and you can see that by the way that he drafts. He's always got a good offensive line to protect his quarterback. With that being said, FSU, Florida State University, the Noles, that's not what they're doing right now. And they haven't been doing that for a minute. When you look at what's been going on for the last couple of years, the first thing that jumps out is they're not playing defense. Okay? You got to stop the enemy team from scoring. Okay? It's not for our health, it's for y'all's. In order for the offense to do its thing, they need an offensive-minded genius. An offensive-minded genius isn't just somebody who knows how to create plays, okay? It's somebody who knows how to put the right people in the right place at the right time to be successful, okay? FSU had no receivers last year. Worst receiver group in the entire ACC. So how can you train your defense? See where I'm going with this? How can you train your defense to get off the field if you're not producing on offense? Now, I'm not saying that gives the defense an excuse to be lax in nature, okay? I didn't see much hustle from the linebackers last year. I mean, FSU's not necessarily been known for their linebackers. There is one linebacker that they were known for sure. Okay, double nickel. But this is not that time. And you got to stop the run. All right, there are a lot of teams in ACC, they don't have the best of anything. But they can run the football and they can play defense. All right, let's look at this. Clemson, all right, Miami, okay? These are teams, Louisville, they run the ball and they play defense. Okay? Now, Miami, they're not really sure what they're trying to do yet, right? But they have good players in good positions. They beat good teams randomly. You never see it coming, okay? Clemson, look, Dabo Swinney, right? He's a phenomenal head coach, right? He's just a phenomenal head coach. There's no other way to look at it. What he's been able to do for Clemson has been something straight out of the history books, okay? And my hat's off to them. But this is a team with good leadership, can run the ball, and play defense, all right? So, on offense, on defense, the goal is simple. It's the same. Find people to do the job and then do the job correctly, all right? Play sound fundamental football. Okay, we have 11 weeks still, all right, for the season, and the Noles are going to start off against a 3D school. This is, I can't even pronounce the name, but check me out, okay, because I don't want to butcher it. You got that team, which is the no-name team, week 1. You got LSU week 2, and then Louisville, all right. LSU, they don't know who they are, what they doing, okay. Louisville, similar, further along the line than LSU. Okay, LSU can recruit good. We'll see what their team looks like. I don't expect them to give any top teams a run for their money, but it's LSU. Okay, team comes out of nowhere. All right, so also looking further down the schedule, because again, it's again on you guys to play. The offense is gonna have to produce, defense is gonna have to produce. You got 4 teams here, okay? 4 teams who don't know who they're gonna be this year, okay? LSU, Florida, Miami, Clemson, all new head coaches or new starting quarterbacks, okay? There's going to be areas, okay, splashy areas for FSU to make a point. Now, I believe anything can happen, especially in college football. But again, there's going to have to be a major overhaul of good decision making, starting at the top, right? With the head coaching, the plays that are called, the schemes that are developed, the whole 9 yards, okay? Receivers. I mean, the first thing you guys got to recruit are receivers. You got to give your defense something to get better at guarding, all right? If you don't do that, can't stretch the field, can't run the ball, can't play defense, right? So, all these little things, they all feed one another. You run the ball, you keep your defense on the sideline. You keep your defense on the sideline, they stay healthy, they stay ready to go when it's time for them to play ball. They stay healthy, ready to go, they're focused, they make plays, all right? Not Jerry Jones, but the great Jimmy Johnson said this right before 1993 Super Bowl between the Bills and the Cowboys. Just make sure we're focused, and they'll turn the ball over. That needs to be the statement that you guys live off of on defense, okay? Focused every play. Lastly, all right, injury bug, right? So you guys lost Caden Lyles last year and CJ Campbell for the year. Just 2 starters right off the dome, and 2 of the most pivotal stars that you guys have on the team. That's a big one. Now, obviously, injury bug, you can't stop it. You can only hope to contain it, right? Just make all the things that you can do. Your best decisions, putting your best foot forward, staying healthy, staying away from everything that's nasty and not, righteous to your body. But that's hard, man. Offensive line, and I believe the CJ was the running back. You guys just losing key pieces right there, and it's hard. So that'll be the focus for the Noles this year, right? Work that recruiting class in, get the people who can make plays the ball and do it consistently, make good decisions, run the ball, play defense, stay healthy, and we'll see where that takes FSU by the end of the season. All right, guys, I am going to take one more break, and we'll be back here to wrap everything up. Going to talk a little bit of Rays, a little bit of Lightning, go over a couple of things that I have for them, and then we'll be on our way to go ahead and get back into this preseason, this NFL preseason. Again, my name is Corey, your host over here at Paltry Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Lava.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more. Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development. But we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest donors. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Colin Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it. College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I Single A in the FBS? Well, then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to Palm Tree Sports with Corey Pujols. I am your host, of course, and this is again brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Now, when I left off, we were discussing some college football. We're going to go ahead and move things over to the lightning category, okay? That would be hockey, and there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say, and I'm going to keep it short, though. I'm going to paraphrase. One, I love my Tampa Bay Lightning. They make us so proud every year, okay? Always glad to see them do well. Steven Stamkos is a legend. Love that guy. And it's just a blessing to be able to see our team be as successful as they are. That goes without saying, and I think if you're any kind of sports fan, you probably feel the same way about your team. But from the Tampa Bay perspective down here in the heat, those boys can get on the ice and they really know how to make it swirl, don't they? And it's just been such a pleasure to watch them each of these last 3 years, okay? And to see them gel and chase those championships. I mean, almost three-peated, all right? You're talking about a dynasty here, all right? So very impressive work from our Tampa Bay Lightning. The most recent news, big extensions and then signing Lucas Edmonds. 3-year contract's pretty solid. Can't wait to see what he does for us. It's going to be great. The re-signs are just as big, okay? So we're looking at, 8-year extensions across the board, all right? And the team looks just as good as it did last year. Of course, once you get towards the end, those boys got tired, and who could blame them? These are some hard games that they're going against, or hard teams they're going against in these games. And after 2 seasons, when you go back to back, it's really hard, it doesn't matter what sport you're playing, right? Let's just talk about that for a second. When you're going back to back, that 3rd season, people are like, all right, I got it figured out now. I know what you're going to do here, you think about those teams that went back to back, the last team to do it. Oh goodness, what was the last team to do it before us? I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but I'll tell you this much. It's hard to do it, isn't it? Again, any sport you play. So, let's see what happens with the boys. Lucas Edmonds, great sign. Can't wait to see what our draft picks do in their development camp as well. It's always a process. I personally can't skate. So, to anybody who plays hockey, I commend you even more, for being on the ice. Street hockey I can play, with the golf ball, and y'all know how it goes, okay? It's going to be really telling in the next 2 years, all right, where the state of the Rays will be headed into the future, all right? Again, right now I still think we're a great team, all right? I think we have a lot to build off of, especially after last year. And then again, adding Edmonds was big. I feel good. There's not really much more to say about that part, right? I feel good about them. I can't wait to see what they do. Let's not make it right to the end and not bring it home though this time, right? And the last team that we're going to talk about does that way too well, okay? And that's why I want to mention it that way. Our Tampa Bay Rays, guys. All right. The Rays, I love watching baseball. I love it. Okay. I hate watching baseball when the Rays are getting spanked. Now, I'm saying this for past purposes. Presently, we're doing pretty good, huh? All right, we just came off of a win. Was it 2 out of 3 at the Royals? I believe it was that we just had was a 5-2 victory earlier today. All right, now we're sitting at 3rd. All right, we're sitting at 3rd in the AL East, and obviously the usual suspects at the top: Yankees. This time it's the Blue Jays. Sometimes the Red Sox, sometimes the Warriors. You know how it goes. It's a shift. It's always a shift. But the Yankees, usual suspects again. Sent up there at 42 and 20 with the home schedule. On the home schedule, the away schedule is looking at 31 and 28, still above 500 on both of those. 73-48 on the season. Okay, so we're 8 games behind them. 1 game behind the Blue Jays, sitting at 65-54. Now, what are the Rays gonna do? I don't know. Every year, every year. It seems like we're looking at the playoffs. We're staring at the playoffs like, we're going to do something. We do something, make it to a World Series, get smacked, okay? Let's hope that doesn't happen this time, all right? We got one more against the Royals. Let's wrap this one up, all right? Royals aren't looking too good this year. They've been in rebuild stage now for a minute, all right? So I don't know, how the Rays are feeling, but let's go wrap this series up. Let's go 3-1 on the Royals, and let's move on to the next thing, okay? Because they're 49-73. Their season's over, all right? Season's over. So let's focus on what we got to do. 1 win here. Move on to the next spot. Now, I don't know that it's going to get any easier from this part forward, right? Because obviously, we're going to see the Yankees again. We're going to see the Red Sox a bunch of times again. And we got the Blue Jays. Those last 4 games, they're going to say a lot. They're really going to say a lot, especially being 1 game out, on the Blue Jays. So, let's see what happens. Rays have been playing good baseball. Not the best, but they've been playing good baseball. I'm proud of the record. Right now at 64-55, but we're going to have to slim down on dropping these 1-run ball games, okay? 1-run, 2-run ball games. We're going to have to take a break off of that, okay? Because when the Royals edged us out 3-2, shouldn't happen, okay? Yankees edged us out 7-8, shouldn't happen. These scores right here are scores that you change 1 or 2 numbers and all of a sudden you're first place in the AL East, okay? So, again, Yankees playing good baseball, about what you would expect, okay? Blue Jays, hey, somebody's got to be there, all right? Orioles, Red Sox, everybody's still in the mix. Not clean, but everybody's still in the mix, okay? Obviously the Astros look pretty scary. They're playing good baseball, you know. And then once you go over to the NL, it's a question mark there. I mean, obviously the Dodgers are playing good baseball, but when are they not playing good baseball? You know, and then after that, it's just a question mark. I mean, you know, Mets look all right. You know, they're trying to get that that division wrapped up, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and do that. So, you know, Rays, good work so far. Still more work to do. Most competitive division in baseball right now. So, you know, let's go to work, boys. Let's go get this dub, and on the Royals, and close out that series and move on to the next thing. Yeah. Very proud of our Rays for what they've been able to accomplish. Again, I just want to see them go further. We've already been to the World Series. Now it's time to win one. All right, guys, you're the only one. You're the only team missing a world title here in Tampa. All right, let's bring it home. Yeah. Not just for you guys, but for the whole city. Right. You know, something for us to be truly proud of. You know, and can't wait to really see what happens with you guys these last so many games that we have left, because we're getting closer to the edge of the season as we go. And like I said, Yankees are playing good baseball. All right, about what you expect. So let's close this year out good. Let's get a playoff berth, and let's make something happen with it. Yeah. Hopefully we can continue to play, you know, decent defense. Let's hit the ball well, and let's get past this last set. Expectations. Let's actually win the World Series. There's nothing else left to do, okay? Win a World Series. We've had good teams. Let's actually do it. And that is all I got for the Rays. That is all I got for the Rays. So anyway, the preseason game right now is going on for the Bucks. I believe the Jags preseason game is also going on right now. I'll double check back on that to see. I do not have anything for Gators, Noles, Rays, or Lightning for the rest of the day. You know, Noles, Gators, and Lightning are out until further ado. Their season start up. Rays, again, let's win a World Series, guys. Let's win a World Series. All right, going to hit a short break. When I come back, we'll go ahead and roll into this outro and get you guys on your way. Again, this is Corey Pujols on IE Esports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Thank you.
Are you a fan of the best teams in the Buckeye State? Then this is a show for you. This is the State of Ohio Sports, where I, your host, Andrew Higginbotham, will bring you all the professional news as well as all things college from Northeast Ohio and Cleveland, all the way down to Southwest Ohio and Cincinnati, and even in the heart of the state in the state capital of Columbus. So if this sounds like the show for you, check out the State of Ohio Sports show every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
there, sports fans. Are you looking for a sports show that maybe isn't 100% about sports?
Then you might want to check out the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Most sports shows cover only scores and stats, and while we're not opposed to that, we dig a little deeper into sports issues and some of the hottest topics in athletics.
In addition to sports, we take a journey through my neck of the woods, pulp culture, with movie reviews of both sports and non-sports films.
Speaking of pop culture, make sure to participate in our game nights, where we quiz each other on our specialties, and you, the listeners, can win IE Sports Radio apparel.
We always have a great time learning more about each other's worlds, one show at a time.
So join us each week on the Sports Couple Perspectives, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Alright, you guys, well, I am back, and I would like to go ahead and start this outro by saying thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come with me on my first podcast and listen to me break everything down for you guys. Again, we covered Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we covered we covered Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Jaguars, the Gators, the Knowles, the Rays, the Lightning. We'll be doing that again every Saturday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, my name is Corey Pujols, and just more big thank you for joining me here on this journey today. And as your host here on Palm Tree Sports, I would like to also send a shout out to our Tampa Bay Buccaneers who are playing right now. Let's go Bucks! And you can catch me on Twitter at Corey Pujols, and that is my direct. You'll see my name on there and everything. And also come join us over on Palm Tree Sports as well on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, both here and on Twitter. And I just wish you guys a wonderful weekend. Have a good one. I'll see you back here same time next week. Corey out.